Hello, thank you for tuning in to another video from the $5 Journey. My name is Anomaly, also known as John, and today I just really wanted to address some questions in regards to the name Anomaly. So why did I go with the author name Anomaly for the book, The $5 Journey? Actually, before I even get into that, remember, check me out on, of course, on YouTube, but also on Twitter at Anomaly 197711. All right, there. You can also, if you have any ideas, any sort of things that you want to bounce off of me, or any suggestions or anything like that, you can also email me at anomaly1977@outlook.com. Okay, so you got Outlook, you have YouTube, you have Twitter, and then check me out on Facebook at the $5 Journey page. Make sure you like it, like some of the comments or posts or whatever. Let's engage. Let's talk about this whole financial progression thing. Now that that's out of the way, I just really wanted to talk briefly, very briefly, I promise, very briefly about the name Anomaly. Okay, why did I choose this name? I chose the name because an anomaly is something that is peculiar, something that is that kind of stands out a little bit because of its weirdness. It's not something that can be easily classified. It's something that is not part of the norm. Okay, now what I'd like is, obviously, in the $5 Journey, is to take people who are making or who are investing $0 per day per week to investing up to $500 per week. All right, and that's the launching pad. Okay, and then we're going to go into bigger and better things from there. All right, that would be an anomaly. Okay, most people do not do that. Okay, most people, the book is for the 90%, because the 90% are the exact opposite of an anomaly as far as finances go. What does that mean? That means that most of the people, your friends, your family members, people that you know in the office, when they retire, they will not have enough money to make it. They will not have enough money to actually live on. As I said in a video earlier, and I think I posted the article on my Twitter and also on my Facebook about AARP. AARP came out with some numbers. As you all probably know, AARP is an organization that is big in providing various services to seniors, people who are maybe not necessarily have retired, but should be at retirement age. Okay, and in the article they said that if you are making $40,000 a year, okay, then what you should have when you retire is $1.18 million saved in your retirement account. Okay, so that would be $1,180,000. All right, that needs to be saved in your retirement account, so that you can actually continue to receive an income of $40,000 or live the lifestyle of someone who's making $40,000. Now, what is also against an anomaly, all right, which is, most of us, is what is normal, what is ordinary, is that most of us will not have $1.18 million when we retire. Okay, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Most of us, if we encounter some sort of emergency that requires $1,000, we're totally screwed. Okay, most of us, when we get older, will not be able to to enjoy life unless we are leaning and relying on somebody else to kind of foot the bill. You know, maybe a family member or children or, you know, something along those lines. There are so many people that I know who they're past the retirement age and they're working, not because they want to work. That's a totally different story. That I applaud. That's a great thing. Not because they want to work, but because they have to work. Okay, and that's the problem. They have to, you know, they're 70 years old, 71, 72 years old, and you know the cost of taking care of, you know, of them or of a loved one or something like that. So, you know, because a lot of times people will have been married and, you know, maybe the wife is okay, but maybe the husband needs a little bit of help, had some medical expenses and things like that. You know, they're like 70, 75 years old. Well, you know, the Medicare, Medicaid, you know, the Social Security, that money will only go but so far. I think I shared with you guys the story of my aunt who pretty much, she was married, she did everything that she was supposed to do. Her and my uncle, they saved up. She is now 99 years old, and they did everything right, and you know, she is now reliant on family members for financial help, not because she's a splurger, you know, not because she was living lavishly or anything like that. Her house was already paid off. She wasn't, you know, going out and, you know, made some bad investments and now people have to bail her out. No, nothing like that. She did everything that she was supposed to do, had money saved in the bank, but that wasn't enough, because when it comes to home health care, like health aides coming in and stuff like that, when you get a little bit older, that stuff starts running up some money, you know. So you need to have a good cushioning of $1.18 million minimum. Obviously, if you are making $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year more, you're going to need more than $1.8 million when you retire. You know, how are you doing with that? You know, what's going on with that? If you are finding that you are most likely nowhere near that, then I definitely, you know, invite you to make sure you stay tuned. Obviously, listen to this YouTube stuff, read the book, you know, and let's talk finances. Let's try to move together, you know, financially. Let's see some financial progression in your life, because so that would make you an anomaly, right? Because most people aren't doing that. Most people are very passive about their finances. A lot of times people don't even want to talk about it. You know, it's much better to focus on, you know, this is, let's see, we're in December of 2017. It's much easier to, you know, for people to focus on, you know, Russia, President Trump, Hillary Clinton, you know, whatever else is going on, right? Not to say that any of that stuff is not important, but how about the fact that most people are not even able to make it paycheck to paycheck? How about the fact that most people are having a second and third job, not because it's a side hustle where they're building additional income, but it's another job to help them throughout the rest of the week so they can just meet the bare minimum on their bills. How about we talk about the fact that most Americans will not be able to retire when it's time for retirement? How about the fact that a lot of people who are on retirement have to come off of retirement? How about we talk about the fact that, you know, healthcare is not covered by our current financial situation in most people's households? You know, those kinds of things. You know, those are really the main issues, and, you know, a lot of times various, you know, gurus and, you know, politicians and things are just not talking about it, you know. So that's why we have to be different. You know, we have to talk about those things. Let's talk about it. But as I said in the book, I'm not one to just talk about a problem without presenting a very viable solution to the problem, right? Because if it's a problem with no, I can't see the solution, I'll mention that it's a problem, so that way everybody's in the know about it. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to keep on talking about it. I'm going to try to commit my mind and my energy and my focus and my emotions towards solving the issue, towards solving the problem. And see, that's where you all need to be, right? You need to move from, oh, this is a horrible world, this, look at all this stuff going on, and well, yeah, okay, the world can be pretty bad. It can also be pretty good too. So if you want to look at the bad, so let's figure out what we can do about making the bad not as bad. Okay, let's focus on that. Okay, be different, be an anomaly. Don't get caught up in the drama and all these other things. Be different. Okay, that's how you're going to be able to grow financially. That's how you're going to be able to progress financially. Most people, if they're making $500 a week, they're figuring out more ways so that they can spend $600 per week, and then wonder why they're in debt. All right. Now, I'm not trying to knock anyone if that's you, because that was me at one point, but we need to change that. We need to change that mindset. We need to become anomalies. We need to be different, to be peculiar, to not be able to be put into the class that everybody else is being put into. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. I am going to, we're going to talk about this tax plan that was passed through the Senate by the Republicans, and finances is not necessarily a Republican Democrat thing. Okay, certainly legislation can affect those things. But the problem is that the legislative process, to me, doesn't seem like it looks out for the best interests of the lower 90%. Okay, that's my opinion. So what we have to do, what the lower 90% has to do, is to come up with strategies, use the mental energy, use your emotional energy to progress financially. So we have to come up with ways to do this stuff. I would love to think that, everyone is altruistic and that everyone is really, really nice, and, there's, unicorns flying through the sky and stuff like that. I would love to think that, and they're gonna, look out for our best interest. But there has been stagnant wage growth for the past 30 plus years, since 1980. Okay, so do I believe that it is going to get better through legislation? No, I do not. Okay, so we have to be able to put a plan together, set some goals, be different, be that anomaly. Don't, continue with the same kind of trend. Okay, you be the change that you want to be, that you want to see. Okay, and we're going to progress financially. All right, we're going to do this. I have a lot of tips. Just to let you guys know real quick, I think I mentioned that I invested in Bitcoin. I invested in some other cryptocurrencies a couple months ago, and I've seen over a 40-50% return on it. So it's certain things like that, and I didn't invest a whole lot. I mean, I think I invested maybe a little bit over $1,000 or something like that, maybe close to $2,000 at this point. And I've seen a decent amount of growth. Okay, and some of you are saying probably, okay, well, $1,000 to $2,000, that's a lot of money for me. Yes, I understand that. Okay, I'm not trying to be one of those pompous jerks. Oh yeah, with a small amount of $1 million, you can be X, Y, and Z. No, I understand. I completely understand the struggle. But remember, with the $5 journey, okay, it is not about, getting things in the quick, doing the quick fix. It's about moving progressively over time, building up, right? Compound interest, compound hustle. Sometimes you need that side hustle to bring in the money to start investing into your compound hustle, or to start investing into other areas. So it took me a little time. It took me some time to figure this whole thing out, honestly. It took a lot of reading, a lot of studying, just talking with different people, interviewing different people. So what I want to do is I want to save you guys the time with that. Okay, that's why I wrote what I wrote in the book. That's why I'm making the YouTube videos. That's why I'm posting stuff on Twitter and on Facebook and everything. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to continue to progress financially together. I'm going to be hitting you guys with various tips. If you have any comments, any questions, just let me know. I'll leave some of my contact information in the link that is attached to this video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.